Hello, students. Welcome back. This is Mr. Morris. Today, we're going to use Inventor, and we are going to create an assembly. And after we create the assembly, we're going to weld it together. And then from our weldment, we are going to make an Inventor drawing. And then we're going to convert our Inventor drawing to an AutoCAD drawing. Okay, so you can go back and forth between Inventor and AutoCAD. So without further ado, I already have my Inventor open. So I'm going to go right to Inventor. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And here we are in Inventor. Now, I've done something similar to this in other CAD courses I've taught, but I'm going to do something different this time because I'm going to show you how to save your Inventor drawing as an AutoCAD drawing. Okay. It's easy to do. You just export it, but you have to remember some people might have AutoCAD and they might not have Inventor. So if you make an Inventor drawing, that's why I said it's best to always send a PDF, right? Because they might not have AutoCAD or Inventor or any CAD tool for that matter. So that's what we're going to do here. Again, we're going to create an Inventor model. We're going to create a drawing from our model, and we're going to convert it to an AutoCAD file. And then we're going to see if we can open it up. Okay. I don't do this all the time. There might be a few hiccups along the way, but I'll figure it out as needed. All right. So this is what your screen looks like. You should go ahead and select New and select English. And we are going to build two parts first. So go to Standard IPT and create. So the first part that we're going to create, I'm going to call it plate -1. Okay, so go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, and you can click on the XY plane. And we're going to go to Rectangle, and we're going to go to Rectangle 2-point center. We're going to move our cursor to the origin. It turns green, click. Now we're going to type in the blue dimension, which is going to be 4. Hit the tab button and type in 4 again, enter. And we're going to zoom out, do a right click, okay. All right, we need to add some depth to this plate. So we're going to finish the sketch. Zoom out if necessary. You can pan if you need to. Pan, just hold down the scroll wheel, right, and move your part around. Go to extrude. I don't want to extrude it 1 inch, and I don't want to extrude it in that direction. I'm going to extrude in the opposite direction. And after I type in this dimension, I'll give you a quick break so you catch up. All right, I'm going to wait here 1 second or two and till you catch up. You should have a 4x4 by 1/4 inch thick plate. So it looks like everyone is doing well. Everyone there? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, and we're going to click on this face right here. I'm not going to worry about tolerances right now. We're going to make a 2-inch diameter hole through this at the center for our pipe. And the pipe is 2 inches in outer diameter. So I'm not concerned about tolerances right now. We would be in the real world. I mean, you can't take a 2-inch pipe and stick it through a 2-inch hole. You just can't do it. So you need to have a tolerance. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go to circle center point, come over here to the origin. It's going to turn green, click. Drag it out. We're gonna make this circle 2 inches in diameter. Type in 2, enter, right click, okay. I'll let you catch up for a second. Then we're going to finish the sketch. We're going to go to extrude. It's going to automatically accept the last profile we worked on, which is a circle. But if it doesn't, just click inside the circle and it will. We want to go in the opposite direction, and look, it's going to subtract this hole. Select OK. All right. I feel like you're doing well. So we're going to go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to click on this face right here. Now what I want to do is I want to put 4 holes in the corners. So I'm going to go to Rectangle. I'm going to go to Rectangle 2-point center. I'm going to click in at the origin. It's a green mark there. And we're going to make it 3.5, tab, 3.5, enter, right click, okay. Now we need to add some center marks here, center points. Go to point right here. See where it says point, click on point, and we're going to click on every one of these intersections. Every one of them. Then do a right click, okay. Now, the reason we did this for is because when I finish my sketch, if I go to hole, you will see there's a hole at every corner. And I'm going to make this hole. You select simple hole right here. Okay. And come down and select through all, and then give the diameter, which we'll just leave at 0.25, and select OK. And so far, so good. All right, now what we're going to do, Mr. Morris doesn't like sharp corners, right? We try to get rid of those when possible. So if you're making this in the shop, let's go to fillet. And we're going to round those corners. Select fillet again. And let's try, I'm going to try 0.25 here first and see how that looks. If I don't like it, I might go back to an 8. And I'm going to click here. And I like it. So I'm going to leave it at a 1/4 inch. You can actually zoom in here some and click on that corner, like I say, X-ray vision, right? Select OK. Now we have a nice plate. Let's go ahead and assign a material to this. Do a right click on the file name, come down to iProperties, go to physical. Some of this you've done many times. Arrow down, and we're going to select, I'm just going to select steel alloy. Or you could select aluminum if you want. I tell you, let's do aluminum. We don't do aluminum very much. Select aluminum 6061. Apply and close. So that's supposed to represent aluminum. It doesn't have the nice luster the steel alloy does, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to file this, file, save as, and we are going to call this plate _1. The reason I have underscore because Mr. Morris already has a plate 1. Now we're putting this in the same directory as what we had before. Remember, I have to create a project. I don't really want to put it in my machinist hammer project, but that's okay. We'll let it go at that for right now. All right, should have created a new project called welding. So there's plate 1. We're going to save it. Oh, there you go. Okay. Now let's go to file. Are y'all with me? I'm going too fast.
It is faster than normal.
I can slow it. Well, I got kind of behind. I got behind a little bit. I was trying to catch up. I can go slower. Let me give you a couple minutes to catch up to where I'm at. Let me give you I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. I'm gonna put you on the clock here so I know exactly 2 minutes. But it's gonna take me 2 minutes to find my clock. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to catch up where I'm at right here, and then we'll go from there. So we're almost there. Another about 45 seconds, and I'll start back up again. Hopefully this gave you time to catch up to me. Mr. Morris is stepping on the gas pedal today. All right. So we should have something that looks like this, right? Let's make sure we save it one more time. File, save. That's our plate. Now we have to create our pipe. Now this is a 2-inch diameter here. We're going to make our pipe 2 inches diameter. And like I said earlier, please understand in the real world, we would have to create a larger hole here somewhat to allow the pipe to fit into the hole. Right now, you have to heat it up and force it in and then cool it down, and then you're going to have residual stress throughout your part. Thermal stresses. And that's an engineering topic we're not going to cover, but that would be a problem. All right, so one more time, we save this part. We're going to go File, New, English, Standard IPT, and Create. Start 2D sketch, start 2D sketch. And I'm going to click on the XY plane. All right, sometimes I like to model things in isometric view. I'm going to go to circle center point, and I'm going to come right here to the origin, click on that, and I'm going to make this circle 2 inches. Right click, okay. Now I'm going to zoom in here some, and I'm going to draw another circle right there, and I'm going to make that 1.5. So it's a 1/4 inch wall thickness. Right click, okie dokie. All right, now we're going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to go to extrude right here. Now be careful here. I just want to extrude the donut. I don't want to extrude the whole thing. So I'm just going to extrude that part. Now I don't want to go in that direction as usual. I want to go in the opposite direction, and I want to make it 4 inches long, and select Okay. So I'm gonna go to File and Save As. We're gonna call this pipe _1. Save. We should probably give this a material. It should be the same material as the plate because we're going to weld it together. We are going to weld this. Go to this file, do a right click on it, go down to iProperties, click on Physical, come to where it says Material Generic, arrow down, and we're going to select aluminum 6061. And we're going to apply and close. And we're going to do File, Save. Do y'all need another 2 minutes? Y'all are good? All right. Now, we have two parts. They're down here in the lower left-hand corner. Look, there's the plate. There's the pipe. There's the plate. There's the pipe. Now we want to assemble this as an assembly, right? So somebody take out your calculator real quick, please, and take 4 inches, subtract 1/4 inch. So take 4, subtract 0.25, and then divide that by 2. 1.875. Thank you, sir. All right, very good. Hold on to that number, 1.875. All right, we're going to go to File, New, okay. It's English, but Mr. Morris is not going to select standard IPT this time. I'm going to select standard inventor assembly model. IAM stands for inventor assembly model. And the units are in inches. And create. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to up here, top left-hand corner where it says place. Select place. And then select place again. And we want to select plate _1. Select that and select open. Now, don't do anything yet. I want you to get in the isometric view here. Right, you still can move this around. Do a right click, place grounded at origin. Click that, please. And then hit escape a couple times. Now, what did I just do? Well, I grounded the part. You can't move this part now. You can try to hold the left mouse button down. You see a thumbtack come up. You're not going to move that part. It's grounded. It's kind of like when y'all get grounded in school and from doing something bad, your parents say, you're not going nowhere. You're grounded. All right. Everybody there? You don't need another minute? All right. We're going to go to place. Place. We're going to select pipe _1. Open. And this is why I like to be in the isometric view. I'm gonna click, right click, okay. I just click, right click, okay. I've only got one pipe. If you got two pipes, you need to delete one of them. You don't need two. All right, now we have to constrain this where we have to mate them together. So remember that number 1.875? We're gonna need to remember that in just a second. Go to constrain right here. When you do this, then take your mouse and or your cursor and hover over the pipe until you see a center line appear. When you see a center line appear, click. Then take your cursor and move to the hole. And as soon as you see a center line with that arrow, Click, select OK. Now we're not done yet because I can take my cursor and place on the pipe and hold down the left mouse button and I can drag it like this. So we're not done yet, right? So now we have to use that magical number 1.875. Go to constrain, come down here where it says flush, click on this surface, click on this surface, and there's an offset, okay? There's an offset. I'm gonna type in 2 just to show you and select OK. Okay, didn't like that. Did I forget something? I'm sorry. All right, I did an undo. Mr. Morris does make mistakes. I want to constrain. I want to click here and select OK. And it's not like, am I doing the same thing still? Is yours doing it? Okay, I removed mine. If yours is there, I want you to type in 1.875. If you go in the opposite direction, then you need to make it negative 1.875. All right, I'm gonna try to, it doesn't like me for some reason, and it doesn't surprise me. Okay, now look, when I type in 1.875, I don't want to go that way, right? When that happens, type in a negative 1.875, select OK. Isn't that beautiful? All right. What is this thing going to be, Mr. Morris? Well, I think it's pretty much going to be a penetration through a bulkhead. So you can run cable, wires, or whatever through it. Bulkhead is usually a term often associated with shipbuilding, but it's basically a wall. And the 4 holes you see is so you can mount it to the wall and strengthen that area. Okay, now what we have to do is we have this assembly. We're almost done. We're done with the assembly. We have to weld it now. We have to weld it. And what I want you to do is go to environments right here. Go to environments on your tab. And when you do that, there's a little icon that says convert to weldment. Click on that. And it says once an assembly has been converted to a weldment, it cannot be converted back to an assembly. Well, that's okay. We don't want to convert it back to an assembly. So we're going to say yes. Now, what comes up, it says, what type of standard weld do you want? Well, we're going to choose American National Standards Institute. And we already got the aluminum 6061. Okay. So what we need to do is it's going to be inseparable. So say, okay. And then go to welds right here, click on welds. And when you click on welds, look, you have a fillet weld, a groove weld, and a cosmetic weld. Today, I just want to talk to you about a fillet weld. Click on fillet weld. What a fillet weld, it looks like a triangle. It has 2 legs and then a hypotenuse. And if you took the cross section of that weldment or the weld bead, your leg would be 0.25 and 0.25. So put 0.25 in here. The other one should be default 0.25. Now, what we're going to need to do is click on this 1 arrow first and click on the plate. Click on the plate. And then click on this arrow right here, and then click on the pipe, and then select OK. If you zoom in, it has the texture of a weld. Do I need to do that again? All right, I'm going to undo it. You're here, right? Is your welds up here? All right. So I'm going to go to fillet weld. It's called a fillet weld because it looks like a fillet somewhat. Make sure this is 0.25. Make sure this is point. Is asking for the first face. Click the plate. Then you click on this arrow here and you click on the pipe. And then you select okie dokie. Right? Did you get this time, Sebastian? All right. Now, we want to put a weld on the other side. So I'm going to use my little view cube up here so I can do what? Look on this side, right? All right, so go up here and select fillet. Same thing, same thing. What is our first face? I mean, we already have our fillet size in there, okay? 0.25. And this might be overkill, but that's okay. It's going to be a nice, strong part. Actually, we wouldn't put this welded joint here if that's going to butt up to a wall, right? Because it wouldn't let it sit flush if we did that. So we probably would not put a welded joint on, but we're going to anyway. Click here and then click pipe. Cancel. Sometimes I have to do this twice because I want it nice. Hang on. It gives me a fit. Sometimes I try to weld the other side. Maybe yours worked, but I'm going to click on the plate. And I'm going to click on this number 2 arrow. It worked that time. It's a little sensitive. Okay. So I hit okay. Hopefully, I'm going to give you a minute here. You have a weld that looks like that on both sides. Got that? Should I help your neighbor? If you got it, help your neighbor out. We're making wonderful time since we got a late start because Mr. Morris was behind a car accident. We're going to go to File here, and we're going to Save. And we're going to call this, let's see, what do I really want to call this? It is an assembly. It is an assembly model. I'm going to call it, I'm going to call it penetration. It's a bulkhead penetration. Bulkhead is a wall. Penetration and save. So down here, look, the lower left-hand corner, there's your plate, there's your pipe, and there's your welded assembly. Isn't that beautiful? Y'all don't get as excited, Mr. Morris. All right, we're going to return up here. It's very important. There's a little return button here. Select return. Now I'm going to save this. File, save. Okay. I want to make a drawing of this. I want to make a drawing without making the details. You're supposed to make the details. It should be a detailed drawing, but we're just going to make one drawing because of time. Go to File, New. All right. English. Come down here to Standard. Actually, no, you're going to come down here. I'm sorry. Select English and then come down here as an American National Standards Institute. Your units have to match. Select this and select Create. I don't want a sheet of paper this size. If you look in the title block, it says the size D is very large. Come over to your browser, do a right click on sheet 1 and go to edit the sheet. And we're going to go to size A. And we're going to go to portrait. And I'm going to say, okay. All right. Beautiful. Now we're going to go to base. and it's going to pop up. It should, but I don't want that to be my front view. I always establish my front view first, even though it says front. I want that to be my front view. Also, over here, I don't worry about it saying bottom. This is what I want my front view to be like on my drawing. Over here, where it says half scale, make it 1:1. And I tell you what, let's make it 0.75. That's better. Select OK. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the hidden lines. The hidden lines are hidden right now. So move your cursor near the part, do a right click on that and edit the view. And we want to come over here to style, and we want to make sure that our hidden lines are being shown here. Click on this and say OK. Edit the view. I should have hit this one. Please forgive me. I should have hit this one. Mr. Morris is getting old. That's okay. All right, there you go. There's our hidden lines. What are these hidden lines here for? That's the hidden lines of the hole, right? All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna drag this down a little bit. Just hold down the left mouse button, move it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and do projected. Click here, and I'm going to drag that right there. Do a left click, right click, create. And it's looking kind of big right now, but we're gonna adjust this in just a second. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do a right click on this front view, edit the view, and I'm gonna make it 0.625. It doesn't matter what I'm scaling it down to be because my dimensions are still gonna come out to be correct. Select OK. Now that looks a little bit better. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to do this. I want to come over here and put me an isometric view. That shows a nice view of the weld bead. Left click, right click, create. Now, I'm going to move these over a little bit to create more real estate for me here. We want to do a left click here, edit the view, and we're going to shade it. Select OK. All right. Now we need to put some center marks and center lines in here. So we're going to go up here to annotate, right? And we're going to come down here to roughly to the middle, and we're going to select center mark. Click here, and here you might have to do it in 2 halves maybe. And then these little circles or little holes, we want to put center marks there. All right, and then on the front view, what we want to do is we want to use our bisector center line. So click, once you select the bisector, you have to select 2 parallel lines, 1, 2, and it's going to put the center line through that. Same thing, you can zoom in. We got to do the same thing here and here, and come over here and click here and here. Those are our center lines. Okay, y'all get that? Okay, y'all are experts at this anyway. I do want to put a few dimensions on here. All right. So what I'm going to do, we know this is a perfect square. So I'm going to do my dimensions a little different than you would normally see. I'm going to go to dimension. And I'm going to click the center, drag down 3.5, and select OK. Now I'm going to dimension another one. If we run out of real estate, we can always scale down our views, do a right click. Okay. I'm going to now I need to move this over some. This is really getting in my way. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Click, click, drag this off. Should be the same thing. Should be the same dimension. Okay, now we're going to do this again right here and here and drag it off like this. Okay. Do a right click. Okay. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do one more scale change, and I'm gonna scale this too. I didn't scale this last time. I'm gonna come down here, do a right click, edit this. Well, before we do that, cancel. We probably should go ahead and do a right click and edit this view. And oh, we did make it 0.625. All right. So we're gonna make it 0.6. Select OK. And I'm going to come down here to this one, edit the view, and I'm going to make it 0.6 as well. You guys know how to do this. You guys are good at this. All right, now, still making good time. What I'm going to do over here, I don't like how these dimensions are lined up. It's very confusing. Just hold down your left mouse button, and we're going to drag this one up a little bit to stagger it. We're just going to stagger it, okay? All right, that's much better. Now, we're going to dimension from this edge to this center of this hole is roughly half, right? And we're going to do dimension from here to here. Now they can see, they can interpret from this drawing the distance from this edge to the center of the hole. It's just the difference in these two dimensions divided by 2. But we can put, if you want to, you can do this. Look. Could be overkill, but that's okay. We want them, and this would be typical, right? Now, I don't like how it's doing that, so what I'm going to do is right click OK. I'm going to bring that dimension down like this. I still don't like the fact that it's over. I did a right click. Now this one I'm going to move inside. See that? See how it cleans it up? Just click anywhere on your screen, hit your escape button. All right, we only have 2 more dimensions really to add to this. We're not going to dimension that's the weld, but we are going to put a dimension of the pipe. So look, watch this. We're going to click here, drag it up like this. That's a 2-inch pipe. Okay. And tell you what, I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to do the inside hole. That's the hole of the pipe. Beautiful. Okay. And then before we leave the top view, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to dimension this hole. And you could put TYP period here and select OK. What do you think that means? It means typical. So they're all 4 the same. Or we could double click on this and go back and change this note to 4x. Okay, there's 4 of those holes. That's the diameter of them. We got one more dimension to put on the top. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to look. I'm do this until that little radius symbol click. Now look what I'm doing here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Look what I'm trying to do. Can you tell? Trying to be neat about it. I kind of split the difference there, but those extension lines, and then I made this radius dimension somewhat in line with that one. Now I'm happier with a piece of cheesecake. Okay, I got that on. Now we need to put some vertical dimensions. These are easy. Okay, so look what I'm going to do. Look, click here, drag out a dimension. Okay, gonna do another one. Okay, we're gonna do another one. All right, at the top, we didn't put the outer diameter here. So what we could do, look, this is kind of neat. You can click here, here, click, and you can come in here, click right in front of the arrows if you can. I went ahead and placed the 2-inch dimension there, but I'm gonna go ahead and double click on this. And I'm trying to move it away some. Okay, good. I can move it back, but I want to click right here in front. Click right here in front of those areas. Hard to do. And I want to place a diameter symbol there. And then look, then I'm going to come back here. So, okay. Now it looks like it needs a little bit of space. Just a little bit. So click in between the arrows and the symbol, hit the space keys. That's okay. All right, I'm done. I'm pretty happy because I have all the dimensions of the pipe. I have all the dimensions of the plate. What we don't have is the labels, and we're making really good time here, folks. So go to text, come down here below the top view, right in between the dimensions, and try to type in top view, highlight it, make it bold, underline. Okay, right click. Okay, now I'm looking at this and I need to move this a little bit so I can hover over it, hold down the left mouse button and move it up some like that. All right, text, come down here right below this one. We can say front view. We can hold down the left mouse button to highlight that. Okay, right click, okay. All right. Now, this is our ISO view over here, so we need to put another label over here, right? ISO view. We're gonna highlight it. Boom. Make it bold. Underline. Select OK. Right click OK. All right. Now, that's beautiful. You did a good job. Now, there's one very important dimension we left out. What do you think it is? It's the weld symbol that needs to be called out. Okay, it's the weld symbol. And what we're going to do is come over here. Click on this welding symbol here and come down here to this one. See, I clicked on this welding symbol. Look, come down here, look. And I'm going to, right there at the midpoint, I'm going to do a left click, right click, continue. Now watch. We have a fillet weld on both sides. So if you have this, that just means a fillet weld on this side. But we have to have one on the other side. Like here, and then down here, We'll say okay for that. Whoops. Let me undo that. Sorry, I got carried away. Click on the welding symbol, come down and touch that part. Left click, right click, continue. We also right here want to weld all around. If I keep quit hitting the you want to weld all around. That's what that means, all the way around the pipe. You want to fill it weld. We'll have a tail. This is where we're just going to type in the word note right now. Actually, I'm not going to because it's going to overwrite my. That's usually tells you some information about your weld. We're not going to do that today. Just understand that that's a fillet weld. We need to put size here. Okay, big one. Put 0.25 here and then 0.25 here. Say okay. Right click, cancel. That's what you need right there. What this means, your arrow is pointing at your weld joint. This is your weld joint, and it's telling you, by the way, this underneath this line here, this reference line underneath it, this triangle here means this side. The other side, this means the other side, which is over here. So we have welds on both sides. The welds go all the way around, and then the legs are 25, the size of 25. All right. Now we need to do our border. So come over here to the browser, right click on that, and we're going to edit properties and go to summary. And this is a weldment, or no, we'll call it a penetration weldment. The subject is CAD 140. And the author is you. The manager is me. And the company is Virginia Peninsula Community College. We're not going to put anything underneath this line here. Go to project. Go to where it says designer. You are the designer. You are the engineer. And I am the authority. So you, me. Status checked by you. Click on the date. Engineer approved by you. Check on the date, and then approved by me. Check on the date. Apply. Close. File. Save. Save. There you go. Beautiful. It's a beautiful drawing. And I'm sure yours looks even better. Now let's go back. What do you, Mr. Morris, what do I submit? Mr. Morris, what do I submit? You're going to come down here and you can get this in some sort of orientation you like. I would definitely do isometric. Please don't send me this. Send me something that looks like this. You can scale it up some with your mouse. Go to File, Export, Image, not a bitmap, but a PNG. That's much better quality. Save. Okay. And then we got this IDW file. I would love IDW files, but I don't want them. I want the PDFs. File, We're going to export as a PDF. You have to remember also what directory you're in. Now, I promised you that I was going to show you how to convert this to AutoCAD, but I'm going to give you a minute. We'll start to catch up with me, and then we'll continue on. All right. So maybe we'll wait one more minute until Steve comes back. So what are your submittals? You're going to submit this as a PNG, and you're going to submit this as a PDF. But I'm getting ready to show you one more thing. Maybe Potter, maybe you can help Steve out when he gets back. What I'm getting ready to show you next. Okay, we want to export this as we're going to export this as a AutoCAD drawing. So watch, file, export to DWG file format. And it's been a while since I've done this, but just leave it as you see it here. Go next. Pardon? It's a fine. And we're going to save it. One more time. File, export to DWG. Do not worry about that being, it says file version. If you're it's okay to have an older version of what you're using, but you don't want to have a newer version than what you're using, if that makes sense. Next, sheet 1, finish. And save. Yes. I don't know where it just went, but file, export to DWG, next. Finish. I'm going to put it in downloads so I can find it. Save. All right. Now, I'm going to stop the, I do want your DWG though. So we want you're going to have 3 submittals here. You're going to have your PNG, you're going to have your PDF of your IDW, and you're going to have your DWG. Now that means I have to open up your drawing file using AutoCAD. That's okay. This is a one-time thing. Let me go see. Just first, I'm going to stop the share here for a second, and I'm going to go see if I can find so I don't think I gave it a name, so it may not have given it a name, but put it in your downloads or something, and you might be. All right, look. I want to make sure I'm sharing this. All right, you can see, look here, look. Isn't that nice? There's your AutoCAD drawing. And you can go in there and edit this. Is that cool or what? So please submit your AutoCAD drawing too. Okay. All right. So that completes today's lecture. So I'm going to stop my share. And so you have 3 submittals one more time. You have a PNG file of your weldment. You have a PDF file of your drawing file. And then you have your audit, submit your DWG that you convert. You're converting your Autodesk Inventor file, IDW, to a DWG. That way somebody can open it up in AutoCAD and make edits to it. All right, that completes this lecture for today. My online students, take care. See you down the road. And this is where we're going to stop. We did good time. So take care.